You're back to Feel Better with Lauren. I'm Lauren. Stretching and strength, you can't have one without the other. Stretching can also be a huge mental game. You sit on the edge of discomfort for a while. So finding that edge and staying there is the challenge. It's not how deep you can go into the pose. It's rather how that pose makes your body feel. And that's why there's so many variations on this same poses. Your knee down, you move your hands over. All these little variations make it work for any person. Never is this about pushing too hard. Injury is completely counter with what we're trying to do here. And what we want to do here is do something for you every single day. So today we stretch and relax and feel awesome, and then maybe we do it all again tomorrow and see how we've changed. The squat, chair pose, reverse tabletop, and a few others is what we're doing today. Hit like, subscribe, and notify if you want to keep in touch, and skip by to the exercise if you've already seen this instruction. Let's take a look. Today, like I said, is about stretching and strength and finding our edge. We're going to use our breath to help find that edge. Sometimes it's really easy to go in too far and you don't know, and you don't want to give yourself any sort of injury. We need to do this tomorrow. Okay, so a bunch of the stuff you've already seen that we're going to do. We'll get rid of some air. We're going to do some child's pose. We're going to go back on our toes. I'll run you through a little bit of just an arm stretch at the beginning that I'll sort of talk you through. We'll do a side stretch and hold at the beginning. We'll go back into our downward dog. We'll do our Sphinx pose back up. And then the first sort of new thing that we'll be doing from our downward dog is going forward and finding a squat at the top of the mat. Your feet will be sort of hip distance apart, and you want to sit down into your squat. It's actually helpful to put your elbows and sort of give a little bit of gentle pressure on your knees, and that's sometimes relaxing. The key here is trying to keep your back as straight as you can. So you don't want to be hunched over like that, at least not in this pose. So you're trying to find some stability and sort of nice and a little bit of hinging. From there, we'll help ourselves up and slowly up to our standing position, and then back down to another new pose for some people is a chair pose. A chair pose, you sort of want to, like you're sitting in an imaginary chair, and you want to create a straight line with your hands actively out in front of you. And it's a little bit of a strength pose and a stretch pose. We'll go back to a bend, down to our squat, which is keeping our feet on the floor, transition down, sitting down as graceful as we can. Doesn't have to be that graceful though. To a variation on that figure 4 that we've done, which we sort of gently can push in, and then into a reverse tabletop, which is our hands and feet pointed in the same direction, and then lifting up. You can keep your head up, you can keep your head back. We'll hold there for a second, and when we come down towards our heels, and we get a little stretch out of our shoulders, breathing up, and then hands forward and down to the ground, and then we'll just do that supine twist that we've done before. That side, reset by squeezing here, the other side, and we'll end in our corpses pose. So let's see how that goes today. Next comes the exercise. Okay, let's start at the back of our mat. Let's start on our knees. Just get rid of that stale air, and then everything after that, we'll breathe through our nose with our mouth closed and the back of our throat open, like we're fogging up a mirror. But for now, let's get rid of that first breath. toes. Let's stretch out the back of our feet. Put your hands in front. And let's just stretch our wrists as we do this. Forward and back. Some circles. Other way. Face our wrists the other way, toes pointing towards our knees. Just feel that stretch as well on our wrists and our forearms. Little circles here. Nothing should hurt. No sharp pain, just a little bit of a stretch. Other way in the circles if you want. Now, let's go back up. Stay on your toes if you can. Keep on getting that stretch. Put your hands to your heart. And we're going to interlace our hands and just push it all the way and stretch at our back and our chest. Big breath in. Hands over our head stretch. If you need to get off your toes, you can go just put them flat. And then our hands behind our back. Chin tilted up and our chest forward. Just stretch better. Let's come off our toes and bring our hands back to the center. Let's put our left hand over and just stretch to the side and feel a big stretch and make some space in the right side. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, right hand down and stretch over to the other side. Let's come forward onto tabletop and just do a few rounds of cat-cow. Shoulders over our wrists, hips over our knees. Inhale, let our belly drop to cow. Exhale to cat, tuck our tailbone. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow last time. Exhale, cat. Inhale, tuck your toes and rise up to downward dog. And exhale into downward dog. Just find it relaxing a little bit. Pedal it out. We want to keep our back a straight line from our wrists to our hips. So better that you bend your legs a little bit if you need to and slowly stretch them up. Let's just sit here for a couple breaths. Inhale, slowly go to plank. Hips the same height as our shoulders. Tuck our tailbone, engage our core. Let's sit here for a couple breaths. You can always set your knees down there. You can set your knees down now, move forward, and slowly bring yourself down to the floor. And then inhale up to Sphinx. Keep your glutes engaged. Now let's just relax into this stretch. Nothing too major here. Should feel good. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. Inhale in. Exhale just down to the ground. Inhale back to child's pose. Exhale into child's pose. Forehead touching the ground. Inhale, tuck your toes back to downward dog. Exhale into downward dog. Inhale to the front of the mat. We're going to go to that squat. Feet hip distance apart, and then relax down there. You can work on variations of this, work up to this. Your knees inside your elbows inside your knees. Gentle pressure puts out actually helps, and keep your back nice and straight. Just sit with your feet flat for a few breaths. Breath in, plant your hands, and slowly roll all the way up, vertebra at a time, hands over your head, hips forward a bit, hands active. Big breath in, breath out, your hands to your center. Just take a second here. And your next breath in, hands up again. And exhale into the chair pose. Have a seat in an imaginary chair. Keep your back straight. Your hands reaching forward. And stay here for a couple of breaths. The deeper you go, the harder it is. You can come out of it a little bit. Just find your edge. Inhale to a forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Let's hang there for a sec. Inhale, halfway lift. Back nice and straight. Exhale back to a squat. Put your hands behind you and gracefully sit back down. Right leg over your knee. Keep your foot flexed. And we're just going to slowly and gently give ourselves a stretch here. Figure 4. Inhale, put your feet down. Let's do the other side. Each side feels differently. So nice breath in. Exhale. Sort of find that feeling, that edge. Inhale, both feet down. Let's do the reverse tabletop. If you don't want to bring yourself up, you can just stretch out here. Otherwise, you sort of dig into your heels. Use your butt to flex yourself up and find a nice stable position here. Head up or back, however it's most comfortable. Stay here a little bit. You can move forward a little bit and you'll feel that stretch in your shoulders, but you really want to be careful with that. That's easy to overstretch. Big breath in. And then put your butt down closer to your heels. Keep your back arms there. And breathe in. Put your chest to the sky. Breathe out, relax into that stretch. Keep it real gentle though. Once more. And the last one. Now reach forward just to get a little counter to that. And then come back down to the ground. And we'll do a little supine twist. Knees together, off to your left side. Put your hand on your knee just to hold it relaxed. And then look back the other way. Not overstretching. Each breath in gets a little space. And then you relax into that. Breath in, your knees to center. Just give a little squeeze to sort of reset your spine. And then send your knees off to the other side. It's not how deep you go here. It should feel nice and feel good. Knees back to center. Let's hug our knees to our chest. Just hold it for a few seconds. We're not straining, we're just holding. Big breath out. Let me go out to the corners where I'm at. Your feet fall open. Your shoulder blades tuck underneath your back. And your hands fall open. This is the corpse's pose. Keep breathing through your nose, and maybe do just a little bit of box breathing. And stay here. Just let your body sort of tingle and feel good and feel stretched. And tomorrow we'll try this again. Have a good morning, a good evening, a good day, and we'll see you in the next video. Always talk to your healthcare professional before starting a new regime. If you experience pain, discomfort, or dizziness, slow down or stop. These videos will become easier each day, but if it doesn't feel right today, go slower or move to another video. Listen to your body.